Alright, back online. Gotta do all this over again though. Okay, cool. Let's go try to kill some bandits again. Fox must have saw me.
Indien Domino.
Hey, Sim. Welcome back. Sorry guys, I don't know what happened, my internet went out, so... But I am back for a little while. Luckily I have a backup internet. I have 2 different internet connections at my house. Sneaky, sneaky. See if I can actually sneak up on these guys. I know they're here now, so there's no excuse for me not to be able to sneak up on them. There he is. What? Did I hit him?
When man is resistible such like you when he does check like me shantings gotta give emoji red heart.
Is that a song, Sim? Oh, I guess I did hit him. Maybe I can't shoot that far. Or maybe I just suck at shooting. The game could barely render that far.
I shall so Halo doesn't have to. Be sure to like and subscribe.
How did he do that? Maybe I should have done magic. That seemed to be... Magic's much easier in bow and arrow and people moving around and stuff.
Hey!
Sim, you're funny.
I shall so Halo doesn't have to. Be sure
Who's
to like
this?
and subscribe.
Yes?
This is the guy who tried to kill me earlier. You're dead. Who hired you? This is the guy who killed me earlier. Sam, you're hilarious. Iron Battle Axe of Torpor does 15 points of stamina damage. Nice. Yeah, this is the guy who killed me in that dungeon earlier. He's much easier to kill this time for some reason. They're over here killing mud crabs? Guess they're hungry. I like the fur armor. I'm gonna take it. Sim, I think you're the only one who came back. Everyone else abandoned me.
Still here. I am sworn to carry your burdens.
Yep, you are.
He has arrow in head and has still being like hello.
He has arrow in head and he's still like, yeah, hello. He was like, hello. And then I killed him. Because he killed me earlier. Give her this battle axe. I'm not gonna use battle axe.
Let's get going.
Guess I need to keep the elven. Am I wearing the elven armor? I guess I need to keep it on because I got my butt kicked when I was wearing that other armor. The other armor looks cooler than the elven armor, but yeah, I'm still wearing the elven armor. I suppose the elven armor is actually better. So probably should keep using it. Nice. Got him. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I got my butt kicked so easily. Just that hide armor on. Man, now everybody's gone. All because my internet went out. Leaks. Don't know what I need it with a sack of flour. Guess I can make some food with it.
Rip Halo Uncone 2019.
Rest in peace, Halo Unknown 2019. Now, if I recall, last time I was up here, there was a chick up here.
Did you hear something?
Nope, you didn't hear anything. You didn't hear anything.
Now you're mine.
Got him. I wasn't even sure until I took an arrow to the knee. Now I'm just a lame security guard. Books, that's what I'm looking for. I got this found sword. That's kind of cool. What's that noise? That is a weird noise. Notes on the Lunar Forge. I've managed to get the forge itself up and running, but again I find nothing about its workings. These weapons were clearly forged here, yet the secret of their enchantment remains elusive. All I've been able to discern so far is some connection between the weapon's power and the appearance of the moons. Take a lunar steel sword. Let's go ahead and read this, since no one's on the chat right now. Light Armor Forging by Reva Sarvani. There are two classes of light armor, metallic and non-metallic. Elven and glass are metallic light armor. You may be surprised to think that glass can be thought of as metallic, but appearances are deceiving. What we call glass is nothing like the window panes you see in the houses. The greenish material is far stronger and has a much higher melting point. Non-metallic armor are hide, studded leather, and scaled. For these armor types, the forger is as much tailor as blacksmith. All use large pieces of leather stitched together together with leather strips. Studded armor also need iron ingots from which you will make the studs and metal rings that make it more effective than simple hide scaled armor. Uses steel instead of iron, but the steel is infused with corundum to make the metal insert stronger. For centuries, the secret of making elven armor was a closely guarded secret on the Somerset Isles. Then the betrayal of Ulval Laren brought the rest of time around. Uval was a dark elf slave working the bellows of Nulian, master smith of the Isle from the 5th through the 7th century of the Second Era. When Ulval escaped, he could think of no greater punishment to mete out of his cruel master than to reveal all his secrets to the world. Thus we came to know that moonstone is the key ingredient in elven armor, and that salt water must be used to quench the hot metal. For gilded
Hello,
elven
in Ghana,
armor,
go school now in Ghana, but you in the back be quiet.
but you're gonna put me in the bag, be quiet. Okay, Sim. Well, I will be on my way to school with you. Have a good day. For gilded elven armor, you must also melt in quicksilver. It melts at a much lower heat than moonstone, which is tricky to work with on two metals together. The trickiest of all is glass. Hammer blows struck across the grain run the risk of shattering the armor. Its principal ingredient is malachite, although it also requires moonstone to give it the right strength. That's it. So now we know how elven armor is made. Quick save. I guess the hired thugs are because I've been stealing stuff. Contract, here we go. This is what I wanted. Ooh, cool. Orcish war axe. Contract. Here is the agreed upon amount. I expect you to faithfully carry out their quest to teach a lesson to the thief Halo. You need not kill her, but I have no qualms about it if you deem it necessary. Brigitte Battleborn. I stole from the Battleborns. That would explain why they wanted me killed. Now that I've killed them, let's quick save. Don't know why they were so hard to kill before. Guess because they found me in close quarters. They were pretty easy that time. Jesus, is there another one? Scroll the Bane of the Undead. Sets undead up to level 30 on fire and makes them bleed for 30 seconds. Ooh, hide element of archery. Bows do tweet. Well, that's cool. That wasn't in there before. Try this Orcish war axe. Wait, is that one-handed or two-handed? It doesn't say. Where's my shield? Got him. How many people sent thugs after me?
Ia back.
Yeah, I'm back, Daniel. Hey, Daniel, how's it going? Just killing these, hired thugs that apparently the, Bridget Battleborn sent after me because I stole stuff out of her house. I forgot that happens. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hey, Eric, the drunk cookie baker, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. Ooh. Lunar Still Mace. I am carrying too much. Again. Lydia? Lydia. You know what? I'll just drop some stuff. I don't need all this stuff.
What happened?
My internet died. And luckily, for me, and you guys, I have 2 internet connections, so I just hooked up to the other one, but it took me a minute, because I hadn't set up the PlayStation to work with it. Okay, am I overburdened still? No.
Eat food to lose weight.
Eat food to lose weight. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, eat food to lose weight. Oh, I see. Because if I eat the food, then I won't be carrying the weight anymore. But you can see how that initially seemed very unintuitive. The Still Battle Axe of Weariness. These are really cool battle axes. What's down here? I want a quick save. Ah, my foot's asleep. I've been sitting on my foot because I'm an idiot. Ooh.
Oh, okay, what was you saying about that boy?
What was I saying about what boy? Oh, yeah, before my stream ended. So, there was a kid at Georgia Tech who, he called the police, told them that there was a drunk guy out on the street.
I'm right behind you.
Who...
I am at your command.
Was carrying a knife and a gun. And then he gave his own description to the police. So that the police would, oops, I meant to give that, not equip it. So the police would come and shoot him, and they did. He attacked them with the knife, or he threatened them with the knife, and they shot him and killed him. But it came to my attention, or I thought about this because we were talking about mental health, and he obviously had some mental health issues. And it just made me think, you know, if someone had noticed, if his parents, he apparently had tried to commit suicide before. So his parents knew that there was potentially something wrong with him, that he had some kind of mental instability. And if someone had said, hey, maybe you're not, maybe you're not in a position where you should be going to a highly competitive school like Georgia Tech, maybe you should do something different. Maybe we should get you some help. Maybe he wouldn't have tried to commit suicide. And so it's important to reach out to people who you think might have some kind of mental health issue. That's all I was talking about. Ooh, this war axe is cool. So it's just really sad, and I think, you know, I just wish somebody had cared enough to talk to him before he got to the point where he was going to commit suicide. People knew that there was something, that he had some mental instability, and they just put him in a highly competitive, stressful environment anyways, and didn't try to make sure that he was being observed, and that they were making sure there was nothing wrong with him and he was okay. Obviously, people, if he got to the point where he's willing to commit suicide, something was really wrong and people were not paying attention. So, that's all. I digress. That's a really depressing story. I don't mean to depress people. But it's, I think it's important to talk about. Probably ran everybody off. I'm still streaming, right? Because last time my stream ended right while I was talking about that. Okay, good. Whew.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sad story, but I think it's important for us to discuss. Huh. Alright. I don't think those were the bandits we were going to go kill. We just ran into them. No, we're going to Halted Steam Camp, which is right here. For some reason it's not highlighting. The moon is out. I got my awesome lunar moon axe. I really gotta get a house or something.
I got ADHD and bipolar.
You got ADHD and you're bipolar? I hope you're getting help with that, Daniel. I know I had a friend in high school, his mom was bipolar, and he went through some really hard stuff when we were in high school.
Yep.
Ah! Let Lydia do the hard work.
Sovngarde awaits you. Damn you!
You know, when I first switched from from playing Skyrim to playing Fallout 4, I really complained because there was no good, like, there's nothing like magic in Fallout 4, but I really kind of started to like melee. Like, you guys, if you watch my Fallout 4 streams, you know I love to play melee characters, and I really like starting to like melee in Skyrim too, and I always played magic characters. So, I guess I just never truly appreciated I never truly appreciated melee before, but it's fun. Oops, I didn't mean to pick that up. Mammoth snout. What can you make with the mammoth snout? Let's see if I can cook anything up. Oh, can I not cook here? That's not. Guess you can only do that in your house. Let's kill some bandits.
Huh?
Well, let's see. They're mining something in here. Holy crap, what just happened? Oh, stupid Lydia triggered a trap. At least she killed the bandit for me. Where'd he go? Weird. Ooh, cool, I got a flawless garnet.
I'm right behind you.
I need to trade some things with you.
I am at your command.
Go ahead and take these books. Just take all this stuff. Even Lydia's getting overburdened at this point. I guess it's about time for me to go back to Whiterun.
I shall so Halo doesn't have to. Be sure to like and subscribe.
Key to Halted stream mine. Nice. Thank you, Nightbit. There's no way, I don't even have access to enough merchants to sell the crap I've picked up.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Uh-oh. Wizard. Wizard. Potions? I don't think I need a... Yeah, I just need minor healing potion. Weapons... I like the war axe. Shield.
I cannot best you.
Nope, you can't.
This.
Ah! Do I have any other potion of health? There we go. Let's go ahead and take the drought of health too. Oops. Did I kill Lydia? Ah!
No one has to talk. Oh well, must have run.
Yeah, now I can collect the bounty. Now that I'm dead, I can collect the bounty. Let's try this.
Picking pockets. That's it. No rough stuff. Just take it and go. Don't tell me. Hard enough. What was that?
I shall so Daniel doesn't have to. Be sure to have a great friend like Halo.
Oh, thank you, Daniel. Thank you. Dang it, Lydia! You trying to get us killed? Quick save. Definitely make sure to get these potions. Set off these bear traps so we don't run into them later. Take the mammoths now. I might need some food. Alright. At least this time I'll just have to kill these guys. Definitely need to put some more points in sneak. Where's that wizard? 'Cause she really screwed me.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
She is the one who really got me. Let's go ahead and take this stuff. What does Potion of the Berserker do? Two-handed weapons do 20% more damage. Oh, I don't need that.
What was that?
Ah, that's what I need to do.
I'm Sleepy Halo. Read me a story. LOL.
You want a story? I mean, I can read a story.
That's it? That's all.
I kinda figured you guys don't want to hear me read stories, but I can read a story. I just picked up a book.
Got it. No one bests an aura. That's all you got.
Yeah, what is this awesome thing he's got down here? Iron Battle Axe of Topor. Does 15 points of stamina damage. That's pretty cool. I gotta drop some stuff though if I want to carry it. I don't need the woodcutter's axe for sure.
Yes, read.
Alright, you guys want to read A Brief History of the Empire version 1? 2920 Second Siege, Volume 5? Light Armor Forging? I've already read it. Let me know which one you want to read. Alright, eat some food, I guess.
The Empire History.
Empire History? I'm gonna get nice and fat, but at least I'll be light. Am I still overburdened? There we go. Now I'm not overburdened. I can't take any more mammoth snouts. Potion of health. Now I'm overburdened again. Ew. Report disaster of Ionith. Ooh, can we read this? I want to read this. The report on the Imperial Commission of the disaster of Ionith. I'm guessing that's the L. I guess it could be Ionith. By Lord Potreed, Chairman. Part 1. Preparations. The Emperor's plans for the invasion of Akavir were laid in the 270s, when he began the conquest of the small island kingdoms that lie between Tamriel and Akavir. With the fall of Black Harbor, the Esranet in 282, Uriel V was already looking ahead to the ultimate prize. He immediately ordered extensive renovations of the part which would serve as the marshalling point for the invasion force, and as the main supply source throughout the campaign. At this time, he also began the construction of many large ocean-going transports, called ships. I added that part in. That would be needed for the final crossing to Akavir, in which the navy was previously deficient. Thus, it can be seen that the Emperor's preparations for the invasion were laid well in advance, before even the conquest of Esraniet was complete.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Netch! And was not a sudden whim, as some have charged. When Prince Bashaman yielded Esraniet to imperial authority in 284, the Emperor's full attention could be devoted to planning for the Akaviri campaign. Naval expeditions were dispatched in 285 and 286. My internet went out, Netch. My internet went out. Luckily, I have 2 internet connections, so I hooked up to the other one. Naval expeditions were dispatched in 285 and 286 to scout the sea lanes and coastlands of Akavir, and various imperial intelligence agents, both magical and mundane, were employed to gather information. On the basis of this information, the kingdom of Tessasi in the southwest of Akavir was selected as the initial target for the invasion. Meanwhile, the Emperor was gathering his expeditionary, these are big words, guys, force. A new Far East fleet was created for the campaign, which for a time dwarfed the rest of the navy. It is said to be the most powerful fleet ever assembled in the history of Tamriel. The 5th, 7th, 10th, and 14th legions were selected for the initial landing, with the 9th and 17th to follow. CSC? Were selected with the initial landing, with the 9th and 7th to follow, as reinforcements once the beachhead was secured. While this may seem to be, to the layman, a relatively small fraction of the army's total manpower, it must be remembered that this expeditionary force would have been maintained at the end as long as the tenuous supply line. In addition, the Emperor and the army command believed that the invasion would not be strongly opposed, at least at first. Perhaps most crucially, the Navy had only heavy transport capacity to move 4 legions at a time. It should be noted here that the Commission does not find fault with the Emperor's preparations for the invasion, based on the information available prior to the invasion, which, while obviously deficient in hindsight, great effort had been made to accumulate. The Commission believes that the Emperor did not act recklessly or imprudently. Some have argued that the expeditionary force was too small. The Commission believes that, on the contrary, Even if shipping could have been found to transport and supply more legions, an impossibility without crippling the trade of the entire empire, this would have merely added to the scale of the disaster. It would not have averted it. Neither could the rest of the empire be denuded of legions. The memory of the Camoran usurper was still fresh, and the emperor believed, and the commission agrees, the security of the empire precluded a larger concentration of military force outside of Tamriel. If anything, the Commission believes that the expeditionary force was too large. Despite the creation of 2 new legions during the reign, and the recreation of the 5th, the loss of the expeditionary force left the empire in a dangerously weak position relative to provinces. As the current situation makes all too clear, this suggests that the invasion of Akavir was beyond the emperor's current strength, even if the emperor could have fielded and maintained a larger force in Akavir. The empire may have disintegrated behind him. So this is like a government. You guys, you really want me to sit here and read government documents? This is like a government document where a panel or a group of a commission was put together to investigate an incident that happened. That Uriel V was the emperor at the time. So they're investigating the emperor and the decisions he made during what looks like could potentially be some kind of conflict. Part 2, the invasion of Akavir. The expeditionary force left Black Harbor on 23rd Rain's Hand 288, and with fair weather landed in Akavir after 6 weeks at sea. The landing site was a small Tassisi port at the mouth of the large river, chosen for its proximity to Tamriel, as well as its location in a fertile river valley, given easy access to the interior as well as good foraging for the army. All went well at first. The Tassisi had abandoned the town when the expeditionary force approached. Tassisi had abandoned the town when the expeditionary force approached. So they took Saisi. Okay, the Saisi had abandoned the town when the expeditionary force approached. So they took possession of it and renamed it Septimia. The first colony of the new imperial province of Akavir. While the engineers fortified the town and expanded the port facilities to serve the Far East Fleet.
I just enjoy the amount, and I mean huge amount of back and side lore they put in this game.
I know, I mean this is crazy, right? While the engineers fortified the town.
I wish I could tell you how to say CC.
Me too, Natch, me too. Is there somewhere I can look it up? While the engineers fortified the town and expanded the port facilities to serve the Far East Fleet, the Emperor marched inland with 2 legions. The surrounding land was reported to be rich, well-watered fields and meeting no resistance. The army took the next city upriver, also abandoned. This was refounded as Ionith, and the emperor established his headquarters here, being much larger than Septimia and better located to dominate the surrounding countryside.
They're snake people.
They're snake people, okay. The expeditionary force had yet to meet any real resistance, although legions were constantly shadowed by mounted enemy patrols which prevented any but large scouting parties from leaving the main body of the army. One thing the emperor sorely lacked was cavalry, due to the limited space on the transport fleet. Although for the time being the battle mages made up for this magical reconnaissance, the emperor now sent out envoys to try to contact the Sasasi, Saisi king, or whoever ruled his land. But his messengers never returned in retrospect. The Commission believes the valuable time was wasted in the effort while the army was stalled at Ionith, which could have been better spent in advancing quickly while the enemy was still
They're
apparently...
also sometimes referred to Serpentine instead of CC.
CC. They also Serpentine would be easier to say. Serpentine or Serpentine. Alright. So where was that? I forgot where I was at. The Commission believes that valuable time was wasted in this effort while the army was stalled at Ionith. I think that's an I. Which could have been better spent in advancing quickly while the enemy was still apparently surprised by the invasion. However, the Emperor believed at the time the Saisi could be outlawed or overawed by the Emperor's power, and he might win a province by negotiation with no need for serious fighting. Meanwhile, the 4 legions were busy building a road between Septimia and Ionith, setting up fortified guard posts along the river, and fortifying both cities. Defensive activities which would serve them well later. Due to the lack of cavalry, scouting was limited, and communication between the 2 cities constantly threatened by enemy raiders, with which the legions were still able to come to grips. The original plan had been to bring the reinforcing legions across as soon as the initial landing had secured a port, but the fateful decision was now taken to delay their arrival and instead begin using the fleet to transport colonists. The Emperor and the Council agreed that due to the complete abandonment of the conquered area by its native population, colonists were needed to work the fields so the expeditionary force...
Do you have work tomorrow?
I do have work tomorrow, Netch. I do. Expeditionary force would have to rely entirely on the fleet for supplies. In addition, unrest had broken in the Venezuela, Otwart, and the supply route to Akavir, and the Council believed the 9th and 17th Legions would be better used in repacifying those territories and securing the expeditionary forces' supply lines. The civilian colonists and their supplies began arriving in Septimia and mid-Hearthfire, and they took the preparations of the fields which had been started by the legionnaires for a spring crop. A number of cavalry mounts were also brought over at this time, and the raids on the 2 imperial colonies subsequently fell off. Sassisi emissaries also finally arrived in Ionith, purportedly to begin peace negotiations, and the expeditionary force settled in what was expected to be a quiet winter. At this time, the Council urged the Emperor to return to Tamriel with the fleet to deal with the many pressing matters of the Empire while the army was in winter quarters, but the Emperor decided that it would be in his best to remain in Akavir. This turned out to be fortunate because a large portion of the fleet, including the Emperor's flagship, was destroyed by the early winter storms during the homeward voyage. The winter storm season of 2088 and 2089 was unusually prolonged and exceptionally severe, and prevented the fleet from returning to Akavir as planned with additional supplies. This was reported to the Emperor via Battle Mage, and it was agreed that the expeditionary force could survive on what supplies it had until the spring. Part 3: The destruction of the expeditionary force. The winter weather in Akavir was also much more severe than expected due to the supply problems and the addition of thousands of civilians. The expeditionary force was on tight rations. To make matters worse, the CC raiders returned forth and harried by foraging and scouting parties outside the walls of the two cities. Several watch forts on the roads between Septimia and Ionith, I still don't know if that's an L or I, were captured during blizzards, and the rest had to be abandoned and untenable. As a result, communication between the two cities had to be conducted entirely by magical means, a continuing strain on the Legion's battle mages. On fifth sun dawn, a large entourage of CC arrived in Ionith, claiming to bring...
On fifth sun's dawn, a large entourage of Seshi arrived at...
Sheshi? Is that how you pronounce it? On fifth sun's dawn, a large entourage of Sheshi arrived at Ionith, claiming to bring a peace offer to the Sheshi king. That night, these treacherous envoys murdered the guards at one of the city gates and led in a strong party of their comrades who were waiting outside the city walls.
SISE.
SISE?
Sound it out.
SISE? That night, these treacherous envoys murdered the guards on one of the city gates and led in a strong party of their comrades who were waiting outside the city walls. Their clear intention was to assassinate the emperor, foiled only by the vigilance and courage of troopers of the 10th who were guarding his palace. Once the alarm was raised, the SIC inside the city were hunted down and killed to the last man. Needless to say, this was the end of negotiations between the Emperor and the SIC. The arrival of the spring only brought worse troubles. Instead of expected spring rains, a hot, dry wind began to blow from the east, continuing with varying strength through the entire summer. The crops failed, and even the river, which in the previous year had been navigable by small boats.
The crops failed, and even the river which in
the previous year had been navigable by small boats for upstream by Ionith, was completely dried up by the sun's height. It is unknown if this was due to a previously known weather pattern unique to Akavir, or if it was the SAC manipulated the weather through magical means. The Commission leans towards the former conclusion, as there is no direct evidence the SIC possessing such fearsome arcane power, but the later possibility cannot be entirely ruled out. Due to prolonged bad weather, the supply fleet was late in setting out from Black Harbor. It finally left port in the second seed and was again severely mauled by storms and limped into
because
Septimia.
Of the increasingly desperate supply situation in Akavir.
You're a little ahead of me that time. It finally left port in early second seed and was again severely mauled by storms and limped into Septimia 8 weeks later, much reduced because of the increasingly desperate supply situation in Akavir. The Emperor dispatched most of the Battle Mage Corps with the fleet to assist in weathering the storms, which seemed likely to continue all summer. At this time, the Council urged the Emperor to abandon the invasion and to return to Tamriel with the expeditionary force, but he again refused, noting that the fleet was no longer large enough to transport all 4 legions at once. The Commission agrees that leaving one or more of the legions behind in Akavir to await the return of the fleet would have damaged army morale, but the Commission also notes that the loss of the Legion would have been preferable to the loss of the entire expeditionary force. It is the unanimous opinion of the Commission
Last point at which complete disaster might have been averted. Once the decision was made.
still a little bit ahead of me. Expeditionary Force is It is the unanimous opinion of the Commission that this was the last point at which the complete disaster might have been averted. Once the decision was made to send the fleet back to...
It's dumb late, but he must stay in the stream.
Hey, Chris, how's it going? Please stay in the stream. Yeah, but you're right, it is dumb late. I'm probably going to stop streaming soon. Back for reinforcements and supplies, events proceeded to their inevitable conclusion. From this point on, much less is known about what transpired in Akavir. With most of the battle mages assisting the fleet, communication between the Expeditionary Force and Tamriel was limited, especially as the situation at Akavir worsened and the remaining battle mages had their powers stretched to limit attending all of the needs of the legions. However, it appears that Sisi may also have been actively interfering with the mages in some unknown manner. Some of the mages in Akavir reported their powers being abnormally weak, and the mages of the War College in Cyrodiil,
who were handling communications for the council, reported problems linking up with their...
You got it perfect that time, King Natch. With their compatriots in Akavir. Even between master and pupil of long training, the Commission urges that the War College make a particular study of the arcane powers of Sisi should the Empire ever come into conflict with Akavir again. What is known is that the Emperor marched out of the Ionith amid sun's height, leaving only small garrisons to hold the cities. He had learned that the Sisi were massing their forces
Sorry if I'm annoying you.
On the other side of the mountain range to the north, and he intended to smash their army before it could gather full strength and capture their supplies, of which he was in desperate need. This rapid advance seems to have taken the Sisi by surprise, and the Expeditionary Force crossed the mountains and fell on their camp, routing the Sisi army and capturing its leader, a noble of some kind. But the Emperor was soon forced to retreat, and the legion suffered heavily at the retreat of Ionith. The Emperor now found himself besieged in Ionith, cut off from the small garrison at Septimia, which was also besieged. By this time, it seems the efforts of the few remaining battle mages were devoted entirely to creating water to keep the army alive, a skill not normally emphasized at the War College. The fleet had arrived back safely to Black Harbor thanks to the Battle Mage Corps, but all attempts to return to Akavir were frustrated by a series of ever more savage storms that battered Esroniet through the rest of 289. The Council's last contact with the Emperor was early frostfall. By evening star, the Council was extremely worried about the situation at Akavir and ordered the fleet to sail regardless of the risk. Despite the continued storms, the fleet managed to press on to Akavir. Hope was raised when the contact was made with the Emperor's battle mage. He reported that Linus still held out. Plans were quickly laid for Expeditionary Force to break out of Ionith and fall back to Septimia, where the fleet would meet them. This was the last direct contact with the Expeditionary Force. The fleet arrived in Septimia to find its garrison under savage assault from the Sasi army. The battle mages with the fleet threw back the enemy long enough for the survivors to embark and the fleet to withdraw. The few survivors of the Expeditionary Force who reached Septimia told how the Emperor had led the army out of the Ionith by night 2 days earlier, successfully breaking through the enemy lines, but then being surrounded by overwhelming forces on the road to Septimia. They told of a heroic last stand by the Emperor and the 10th Legion, which allowed a remnant of the 14th to reach Septimia. 2 survivors of the 10th arrived in Septimia that night, having slipped through the enemy lines
I feel
during
bad.
their
Sorry if I'm annoying you. I'll stop.
No, it's cool. King Netch is cool. Two survivors of the 10th arrived in Septimia that night, having slipped through the enemy lines during their undisciplined victory celebration. These men confirmed having seen the Emperor die, cut down by enemy arrows as he rallied the 10th shield wall. Oh my god, there's more? Part 4, Conclusion. Yay, conclusion. The Commission believes that the invasion of Akavir was doomed from the start for several reasons, none of which could have been foreseen beforehand, unfortunately. Despite extensive intelligence gathering, the expeditionary force was clearly unprepared for the situation in Akavir. The unexpected weather which plagued the army and navy was particularly disastrous. Without the loss of the majority of the Far East Fleet during the campaign, the expeditionary force could have withdrawn in 289. The weather also forced the Emperor to assign most of his battle-mage corps to the fleet, leaving them without their valuable assistance. During the fight which soon followed, and the course of the unexpected drought which struck Ionith during 289, dashed the hopes of supplying the army locally and left the expeditionary force in an untenable situation when besieged in Ionith. The Scythici were also much stronger than intelligence reports had suggested. Information on the size of the army of the Scythici were eventually able to field against the expeditionary force is vague, and the only serious fighting took place after regular communications were cut off between the Emperor and the Council. Nevertheless, it seems likely that the Scythici outnumbered the Emperor's forces by several times, as they were able to force 4 crack legions into retreat and then keep them under siege for several months. As was stated previously, the Commission declines to criticize the initial decision to invade Akavir. Based on what is known at the time, the plan seemed sound. It is only with the benefit of hindsight does it become obvious that the invasion had very little chance of success. Nevertheless, the Commission believes several valuable lessons can be taken from this disaster. First, the Scythici may be extremely powerful arcane forces at their command. The possibility that they have manipulated the weather across such vast regions seems incredible, and it could be noted that 3 commissioners strongly objected to this paragraph being included in the report. But the Commission believes that this matter deserves urgent investigation.
I shall so Halo doesn't have to. Be sure to like and subscribe.
Thanks, Nightbot. But the Commission believes that the matter deserves urgent investigation. The potential danger is such that the slight possibility must be taken seriously. Second, the Scythici appear to possess no navy to speak of. The expeditionary force was never threatened by sea, and the Far East Fleet fought nothing but the weather. Indeed, initial plans called for a portion of the fleet to remain in Akavir for use in the coastal operations, but in the event there were very few places where the large vessels and fleet could approach the land due to the innumerable reefs, sandbars, islands, etc. that infested the coastal waters north and south from Septimia. Due to the utter lack of trees in the plain around Septimia and Ionith, the expeditionary force was unable to build smaller vessels which could have navigated the shallow coastal waters. Any future military expeditions against Akavir would do well to consider some way of bringing a means for inshore naval operations in order to exploit the clear advantage over the Scythici advantage, an advantage which was sadly exploited by the unexploited by the expeditionary force. Third, much longer term study needs to be made on Akavir before another invasion could even be contemplated. The information gathered over the 4 years prior to the invasion was extensive but clearly inadequate. The weather conditions were completely unexpected. The Psyche were much stronger than expected, and the attempted negotiations by the Emperor with the Psyche a disaster. Akavir proved alien beyond expectation, and the Commission believes any future attempt to invade Akavir should be contemplated without much greater knowledge of the conditions, politics, and peoples of that continent than previously obtains. Finally, the Commission unanimously concludes that given what we know, any attempt to invade Akavir is folly, at least in the present state of the Empire. The Empire's legions are needed at home. One day, a peaceful, united Empire will return to Akavir and enact severe retribution for the disaster of Ionith and for our fallen Emperor. But that day is not now, nor in the foreseeable future. Wow, they did put a lot of thought into that. Like, oh my god. That is pretty impressive.
I'm right behind you.
How can I serve you, my Thane?
I liked the book Halo.
I'm glad you liked it, Nutch. Sorry I can't pronounce things right.
Let's get going then.
Undead up to level 7, flee for 30 seconds. Restoration spells. Stuff's so valuable, I need to keep it.
I am at your command.
But I am running out of room to put it places. There we go. The sacks of flour I just ate were pretty
Eat your
heavy.
food.
I ate my food. Let's get some rest.
That was, they really know how to put and write the back lore. Great Red Halo.
Oh, thank you, Bubba. Glad you enjoyed it. I need to learn more about the lore because I have a hard time sometimes understanding what's going on in the books because I just don't know enough about the lore. So I really need to learn more about the lore. So that's how Septon the Fifth died. Ionith is the goddess of air, wind, and sky. She has a temple in Whiterun. Alright, let's go turn this quest in.
Bonichikva.
Bonachita? What is that about? Bonchikwa? Bonchikwa?
Sorry, just wanted to see what it would say.
Bonchikwa. Wait, is this the right place? Yep. So I guess I'll turn it into this guy. Like, I got it from the innkeeper, but I'm turning it into the guy here.
He went out like a G, leading forces straight into an almost hopelessly fight. Probably took 80100 arrows to take him down.
Yeah, Bubba Hotep, he was pretty brave. Snuck his shoulders. He knew he was defeated, and he snuck his soldiers out in the middle of the night and tried to take over the Psyche army anyways. That's pretty badass. I will give you that. Here he
Dragons
is.
breathing fire in the sky.
I serve Jarl Balgruuf
Vampires
as
brazenly
steward.
attacking people on the street. It's the end of the world, I tell you.
The bandit leader at Halted Stream Camp is dead. I'm here for the bounty.
Excellent. You've done us a great service. Here is your reward.
Do I have enough gold yet to buy a house? Probably not. Where does it show how much gold you have? Oh, gold. I have 3,801. I'm getting there. Let's go sell some stuff.
Bottom right hand corner.
I found it, Netch. You think I never played this game before. I played it a lot. I mean, I've played it a lot. But it's just been a long time ago. Probably haven't played it since Fallout 4 came out, essentially.
Lady,
I
can you
ain't
spare a
done.
coin?
No. Go
Hands to
away, little
yourself,
brat.
sneak thief.
Where's the lady who sells the jewelry? Oh, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Down here.
Laugh now she's gonna starve. Oh, give her some money. Lol.
I hope your parents are proud of
What's
you.
this girl doing? Is
They
she a
have
thief?
lot of reason to be.
Once I've made enough money trading with the Khajiit caravan,
What is she
I'm going
doing?
to buy the bannered mare from Hulda.
Hello,
Farewell.
Lilith, always a pleasure. Just browsing, or were
Why
you
is she
looking for
sneaking
something
around?
particular? Funny you should ask. I'm in the market for a new rocket.
Is she a
Something in
thief?
polished silver, maybe.
Thug life
Big
laugh.
enough to hold, say, a folded up
No
letter.
kidding.
Ah, I see. Bits and... Perfect, my dear. Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that. I'll see you then.
Let me see how much gold she has. She has 58 gold.
Laugh. Look at her, you what mate?
Alright, so I got all her
You take
gold.
care of yourself now.
Still here. Let's get going then.
You what, mate? You what, mate? See what I can sell this dude.
We've got the finest weapons and armor.
No, I don't want to buy things. Sell my sanctified sword. My lunar battle axe of terror. My lunar steel mace. Almost there, guys. I almost got enough
Good
money
doing
for a
business
house.
with you.
I'm right behind you.
I need to trade some things with you.
I am at your command.
Okay, let's get rid of all these lame weapons you don't need. I guess she needs a bow. But like, orcish, like all this unenchanted stuff, you don't need this stuff. Grab that L. I'm gonna go sell all the food too. Sell those. Don't need multiple copies of the same book. Oops. Dang it, now I have to put all the books back. Okay, so I could sell all those books. Pick all the ingredients.
He is lovely, Miss Halo. Kick
Hey,
butt, young lady.
Joel, how's it
Big
going?
smile.
How are you doing tonight, Dark Joel? Surprised to see you on this late. Let's get rid of all these lame, like normal weapons.
Lead on.
You look like me. Most of our looking to protect yourself or deal some damage.
I'm looking to sell some stuff.
Getting caught up at work. Emoji smiling face with open mouth.
That's cool, Dark Joel. So you're working? Man, he's got so much more gold. Did I go through her apparel?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I really gave her any apparel. Let's see.
I've got your back.
I need to trade some things with you.
I am sworn to carry your burdens.
Yeah. I know, I'm horrible. Yeah, she doesn't have any apparel.
Lead on.
Got some good pieces out.
What have you got for
Finest
sale?
weapons and armor.
Hello, Darth.
Getting close, guys.
Unfortunately, Mon Fry 1 p.m. to 7 am drive Uberes, and when
Don't
I
forget
get
to
some
check inside
acting
the
work.
shop if you need
Emoji
anything.
winking face.
Unfortunately, Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. you
What's
drive
up, Bubba?
Uber.
Emoji
Eats.
grinning face.
I don't claim to be the
And when
best
you get some
blacksmith
app
in
work?
Whiterun. Yorland Greymane's got that honor.
So Monday
Mansfield
through
is
Friday,
the
11 p.m. to 7
All I
a.m. you're
ask is
driving
a fair
Uber. So you're driving in like the middle of the night. I thought you had like a security job you did in the middle of the night. You don't do that anymore? Ooh, cool. Amethyst, gold. Key to Armin's house. Want pick. How did this happen? Oh, a vampire killed him. Destruction spells cost 15% less to cast. Magicka regenerates 50% faster.
Even if you are my elder.
No, my grave is security work. You all have interesting lives.
Your grave is security work? What do you mean your grave? Your grave is security work. I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Be glad you're here in the city and not out in Riverwood.
I suppose you don't need to worry about that.
Owning a farm does have
Here's the guy who sells the
finest
food.
cuts, trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing. Take a look.
Your death?
Your death.
I don't care if he kills all the game
I spend a lot
himself.
of time at the market stall so I can learn the merchant.
Got something for just about everybody in here. Give a
My
holler if you have
graveyard
any
shift
questions.
Mon Fry is security. Afternoons when I get up I drive Uberes. If I get acting
you
work
need,
I
my
skip
friend?
Uberes. A
Gotcha.
vampire master
Look rather
just strolled
pale.
into Whiterun,
Could be
started a
ataxia.
fight, and they just
Quite a
left the
problem back
bodies.
home in Cyrodiil.
Apparently. Gotcha. So you do Uber Eats in the afternoon and then you do security work.
Ah, so you're an alchemist then.
See if I can sell her any potions.
You got it, young lady. Emoji grinning face. I don't
Gotcha.
work laugh.
That's commendable. That's, I mean, I respect that. You're working, you're doing what you need to do. I respect people who just do what they need to do. Not all people are willing to just, you know, do what they need to do. If that makes any sense. Some people would rather just sit around and complain. Alright, I think we're good there.
Come back anytime if you need a remedy.
Okay. Let's go see what we can sell to the general store guy.
I don't complain. Emoji grinning face.
You don't complain,
Take a
Dutch?
look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. If not, let me know. I might have it stored away. Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that.
Alright, let's see what we can sell them. Okay, all the books I can sell them. Because I've already got multiple copies of books, believe it or not. What is this? Restoration spells. I might keep that. I might need that. Of course, I'm a hoarder, so I'm not a good person to actually ask. Don't know why I would need empty bottles. I'm not selling my garnets for less than they're worth. So, yeah, that's it.
Come back.
But that, guess what, guys? I got enough to go buy a house
Several
now.
things on my end. I'm trying to help my wife get her master degree, eventual doctorate.
They say there's nothing
My
in
daughter
North
need expensive mouth surgery too. You can buy
Connect
a house
to
now,
everybody?
Zoro.
Traveler.
Emoji
Crow to
grinning
everybody.
face.
Aw, thank. Yep, we can buy a house.
I'd be a lot warmer and a lot happier with
That's cool, Dark Joel. You're helping your wife get a master's degree and a PhD. What in? That is awesome. I really want to go back to school and get a master's degree. But being able to afford it is one of the big barriers. It's one of the reasons I stream. I figure if I can ever start making money doing this, maybe I could go back to school. And go back to school and maybe do this like 20 hours a week. I could be streaming more. And, yeah, that'd be cool. Streaming
Psychology
more
family counseling.
and go to school.
I
That's
think I'm your
awesome,
youngest
Dark
subscriber,
Joel.
Halo.
How old are you,
Jarl
King
is,
Nutch?
as you can
14?
imagine,
No, they're
very
younger
busy.
subscribers.
Perhaps I can assist you.
Not here today, but there are.
Splendid.
Damn
There's a
Dark,
house available
respect
right
man,
now.
taking care of the fam and doing what you need to.
I'll take
Wonderful. Here's the key to your new home.
it. Yay! I'm a homeowner, guys.
Got 60 seconds. Go.
I think the time might be
TYMR
right
Baba.
for another public appearance.
Emoji grinning face.
Address the patron.
Emoji astonished face. How young?
I think the youngest subscriber on here is like maybe 10.
Gotta keep my eyes open. Damn dragons could swoop down at any time.
The future of Tamriel! I'm daring!
It's a shame, isn't it?
We are
I work with my mother. Sell fruits and vegetables. It's fun mostly.
Ripe fruit and fresh vegetables for sale.
Hey, what are you doing?
Do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't.
I should kill you, you know. At least he didn't get this guy's gold necklace. I missed that, apparently. I think it's funny, you see this guy in the street, he's obviously looting the corpses like I just did.
My wife goes to Regent University. In top 10 US colleges.
That is
Mike
awesome.
gets straight A's. Emoji smiling face with open mouth.
That is awesome.
I hate Nazim.
Yeah, Nazim's a jerk. Okay, let's put some stuff in here that I can't sell yet.
Lul, Halo's getting murdery tonight.
I would like to murder that guy. Okay, books. Books go in the chest. I'm like, don't have much gold now, but all the stuff I couldn't sell goes in the chest for now. I don't know why I have a lantern. I can go sell this stuff eventually, maybe. Probably won't. It'll probably just sit in the chest. We'll see. Troll skull. Oh, that was my Whiterun decorating guide. Let's read that real quick.
Have you been to the Cloud District? What am I saying? Of course you haven't.
Yeah, what a jerk. Books. Whiterun Home Decorating Guide. Whiterun Home
brother
Decorating
and sister
Guide.
good luck, Halo.
What? Why am I wishing your brother and sister good luck? Good luck, Netch's brother and sister. Welcome to your new home. This decorating guide provides a list of packages that you can purchase from the steward of the hold. Each package contains furnishings and decor for a specific part of your house, and these will be delivered and placed for you upon purchase. All you need to do is provide the gold, and the steward will take care of the rest. Ooh, so he just comes to my house? I don't like that. The next time that you visit your home after making your purchases, you will see your new decorations and furnishings in place.
Saying district you been. Now you need to buy furniture.
Well, I don't have any more gold left, so that'll have to wait. Kitchen includes a fire pit, a small table, and 2 chairs, as well as a shelf to store cooking supplies. Living room provides wall-mounted shelves, a few side tables, and 2 chairs placed near the fire pit, all near the center of the ground floor. Dining room adds long wooden table and bench, as well as several shelves loaded with cutlery, dishes, and cookware. Alchemy laboratory.
They got a thing called MRSA from a retard, and my mom got antibiotics, but they didn't work, and it's all on my brother's lower stomach.
You heard it hurts really bad,
doesn't have to.
And he's only 3 and my
Be
sister's
sure to
5.
like and subscribe.
They got MSRA. Oh, I'm sorry, Netch. That's awful. Yeah, I hope they get better. Who they get it from? Dining room adds a wooden long table and a bench to several shelves loaded with cutlery, dishes, and cookware. Alchemy laboratory. This package has alchemy crating station, a reading table and chair, and a large wardrobe to the rear area of the ground floor. This also includes the addition of a wall to divide the laboratory from the dining room. Children's bedroom instead of an alchemy laboratory.
The whole house thing is why I love the Clockwork Castle mod. It's perfection.
You can choose to furnish your room in the rear of your home with the cozy child's bedroom, including 2 beds, chests, and wall hangings. Know that this package will
Matt
replace...
and his sister Becky. It's a long story.
What is the Clockwork Castle mod? I'll have to check that out. Is that available on PS4? The package will replace the Alchemy Laboratory if you have already purchased it, and vice versa. Loft. This package includes a few chairs and tables to fill out the upper level loft. Bedroom adds 2 bedside tables and a dresser and a small table with 2 chairs to the master bedroom. This also includes the addition of a wall to give your bedroom added privacy. Alright guys, well that is the Whiterun Home Decorating Guide. Alright guys, I gotta call it a night because it is much later than I planned on streaming. But thank you guys for joining tonight, and we'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna go ahead and put my character to sleep. So thanks everyone, have a good night. And Netch, I really hope your siblings get better. That really sucks. They got MRSA. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye.